What is up, guys, and welcome back to yet another Discord bot tutorial video. And we are back with like another installment, basically, just before I do my main videos. So the next actual episode of the series is still in progress. Learning something brand new, but we are going to be going through one of your suggestions once again. And in this one, we have one from Lachlan, and he said he wanted to implement a ticket command system. So I think when I saw this initial submission, I thought this is actually deserving of its own video, because there's actually a lot involved in a ticket command system. So basically what he wanted is like a support ticket system where users can submit a ticket saying what issue they have and stuff like that, and then it goes directly to the moderators, and then they can have a conversation with the person who submitted. It's basically like a little support forum where like the users can submit an issue and it will go directly to the moderators or the admins, and then they can help you with that issue. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video today. So once again, for those of you that are watching this video and you are a beginner, then I have this nice C# Discord bot template that you guys can use to make a Discord bot from scratch. It's nice and easy to use. Everything in the readme tells you how to use this repo and get your own Discord bot set up for yourself. It's pretty easy, and like this is also useful for testing purposes, because it's a nice empty framework, because there's nothing going on here. There's just a basic commands folder and then a basic bot. So this is a nice way to test new features that you want to put in your main bot as well. So if you lot are looking for a very easy, simple way to make a Discord bot with no hassle, make sure to check the description for this template, and it will show you how to make your own Discord bot with ease. So let's get on to the ticket command system. Okay, so for this, we're going to be using the template. Why not? Because it's a nice empty framework. I don't have to worry about any clutter in my main bot repo where I usually code. So let's create a new repo, and let's just call this I don't know. Let's assign myself as the owner, and let's just call this, I don't know, support bots. I don't know, support bots, because it makes sense, right? Because we're creating a sort of ticket command system in here. So let's make that repo, and then I'll make sure to open VS 2022 and get the clone window ready. So let's copy the link, and then let's paste it in here and click on clone. So we are now ready to start coding in this bot. So okay, so I've imported everything, and the token is also in. So let's just give it a start, just to test if it's working. First of all, make sure everything's working. Yep, D# plus version 4.4.2. And then if I check my bot, then there we go. Yeah, it works all nice and neatly. So cool. So a support ticket system. So pretty much my implementation is, maybe I'm going to have a message here that contains a button saying like submit, and then it will open up a modal where the user can put in their issue. So I think that's a good way to do it, right? So maybe like if this was to be implemented in an actual server, this message will probably be in like a locked channel, where like the user can't delete the message or do anything of that sort. So it'll just be locked here, and the message will stay there forever, and then like the users can go there and click the button, submit their modal, and that's how it should work. So what I'm going to do is just create a command that will just send the message out there, so that we at least let's say if this message somehow disappears, then we'll still be able to send it back. So let's go into our commands folder and let's create a basic command. So let's just rename this to display. I think that makes more sense, right? So display the support button, right? Or like the message tied to that button. So let's name this display. Cool. And let's start making the embed. So we'll say var support embed, and that equals a new Discord message builder. So bear in mind, if you want to add buttons to a message, it has to be a message builder. And then we add in the embed if we want. So let's say a new Discord embed builder. Cool. And then let's make it look good. So let's say with color, and then let's say like Discord color Azure, and then Azure, and then let's say the title So I don't know, let's say the title as, I don't know, like support system, I don't know, so support system, and then in the description, let's just ask the user, you know, how this works. Please click the button, you know, etc, etc. So so that's all cool. So what we can do now is press enter and then add components. So, and then we'll end it with a semicolon. So we'll send this to the channel. So we'll do await and then ctx channel send message async and then the support embed. So support embed, and then we will also attach a button to this this message. So let's create a Discord button component. So we'll say var, let's name this the what's it, submit button. So submit button. So that equals a new Discord button component. So this is using everything we've learned so far. So like so far, there's nothing new that we've learned in here. So let's give it a style. So button style. Let's say primary. Let's get rid of the D# plus and then import it in the usings. There we go. Using D# plus. Okay. Let's give it a custom ID. So let's name this the submit button. And then the label is going to be, let's just say submit. Or let's say submit ticket. I think that makes sense. So ticket, and then let's add it to the embed. So let's say submit button, and let's just give this a test. So let's first test if it displays well. So let's say display, and cool. There we go. Support system. Please click the button below to submit an issue. And then if we click on it, it should fail on purpose, and we should get an error. No, that's fine. So, okay, we've got our basic message here. So we've got the support system. Please click the button below to submit an issue. So pretty much what we want to do on the click of this button, we want Discord to open a modal for the user. So that's the next step to do. So we want to open a modal for the user to type in their issue. Okay, so once again, remember how we handle buttons. We need to be in the event handler for it. So let's go to the component interaction event handler. So we'll say client, and then component interaction created. Subscribe to this event and create a method. So we'll say components event handler. Cool. And then in this event handler, we need to check for the button, right? So let's like this time, let's not use if statements. Let's try and be more professional about it. So let's use a switch statement instead. So let's change this to E, and then let's say switch the E interaction data and then the custom ID, because that's what we're actually checking for, right? For pretty much every button press, we check the custom ID. So we want to check for this button. So submit button. Let me copy that custom ID, and let's do a case. So case and then submit button, and then let's break from it so that it's all valid. So cool. There's the event handler for the button. So what we want to do on the press of this button is, like I said, we want to open a modal. So let's create that modal. So remember, we have to create a Discord interaction response builder and send it as a modal response type. So let's do that. So let's say var, let's just name this the support modal. So support modal equals a new Discord interaction response builder. Cool. It's a bit of a long name, but that's just how it is. So let's say with title, or like first of all, let's give it a custom ID. So let's first give it like, let's get that out of the way. So let's say support modal, or not, so what's it, support for modal. So like, that's a good custom ID for it. And then let's start giving it the title and text box and stuff like that. So let's say with title, and then in here we're gonna say I don't know, create your support ticket. So we'll set that as a title, and we also need to add a text box component in this modal, right? So that the user can type in their issue. So we'll add a component. So we'll add components, and then the way to add a text box in a modal is by saying new text input component, just like we did in the modal video. So we'll make sure to close that, and then let's just build it. So let's so like that's the label of the thing, and then the custom ID, we'll name it the support text box. So that way, when we're checking in the modal, we know what we're checking for. And like, you know, like these, you know, placeholders and pretty much all these, you know, optional parameters, you can mess about with it. So we're done with this. So we're done with that modal. Now pretty much all we got to do is just send it as a modal, right? So we do await E and then interaction and then create response async. And this time we use the modal response type. So not channel message with source or update message. So we say interaction response type, and then we say modal, and then we attach on the support modal. So that's cool. So let's test to see if this works now. So let's, you know, save everything, give it a start, and when we press this button, it should open up a modal, and there we go. Create your support ticket. Type your issue here. So it looks like I need to add an R. A bit of a spelling mistake there. Okay, that's cool. Okay, and then yeah, so like I can just type in random stuff here, and the user can press submit, and it's not going to work because we haven't programmed it to do anything. There we go, something went wrong. So cool, we are ready to program the modal to do something. So pretty much when I asked Lachlan what he wanted for the support ticket system, he said when you submit a ticket, he wants it to be able to open a new channel with that issue, so that the moderators and the person who submitted can talk in that channel. And once the thing is over, then they can delete the channel or, you know, log the messages, etc, etc. So basically, once the ticket has been submitted, we need to be able to create a Discord channel and then send a message in that channel with the issue, right? So that, you know, like the moderators know what has been submitted, etc, etc. So we need to program a sort of ticket management system as well. So first of all, let's actually make the channel first. So when the modal is submitted, we need to create a channel, and also we need to store the ticket details in a external file so that we can keep a track of what tickets has been created. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be storing the tickets in a JSON file. So once again, this is using everything that we've learned so far. We haven't learned anything new here. Let's get up the modal submitted. So let's say client and then modal submitted event handler. So let's make the method for that. So we'll say modal event handler. Cool. We'll get rid of this and change this to an E. So first of all, let's get the values like we usually do. So let's say var values, so modal values is equal to E values. So in this case, we only have one value here. So that's the text component. So let's, you know, check for that first. So like in the initial video where I showed you how you check for a modal, that's, you know, like it works, but it's not specific. So you might have a bot that has multiple modals. So you need to check for the correct custom ID of the modal that you are submitting, right? So let me show you how to do that properly. So let's say if the e.interaction and then the type is equal to the, you know, modal submit. So like that's the first thing we did. So is equal to modal submit. So that's just going to check if the user pressed the submit button, but that can apply for any modal. So we want it to only apply for this modal right here and not for anything else. So we add an and then we check for the custom ID. So the modal custom ID is actually the same as the button custom ID. So it's e.interaction data and then custom ID. So let's check for that. So let's say e.interaction data and then custom ID, and then is equal to this, the support for modal. So let's copy and paste that. So this is pretty much going to ensure that we are checking for this specific modal over here and not any other modal that you might have in your bot. So now we're ready. So what we're going to do is create a channel in this exact same parent channel as this one. So let's just assume that this, you know, like this parent category is called, I don't know, support. You know, let's name it support. And then this channel is called, I don't know, a submit, tickets, you know, and then this channel will be locked to the normal users, and then when they submit a ticket, they'll have channels going down here with, you know, like each of the issue. So let's create the channel. So let's say var issue channel, because it's a channel containing the issue, right? So let's say await e.interaction and then the guild and then create channel async. So there's a lot of parameters here, but there's there's only two that we really need to like fill out. So the name of it, this is up to you. So I don't know, like this is totally up to you, but I'm just going to set it as the username of the person that submitted it. So let's just say e.interaction. So let me put e.interaction and then the username, and let's just say their issue. So that's cool. And then the channel type is a text channel. So that's all cool. And then we also need to create it in the parent channel. So there's actually one more optional parameters that we need to put in. We need to put the parent channel. So that's the parent channel of the base channel. So let's say interaction channel and then the parent. Because bear in mind they are pressing the button from this channel. So it's just going to get the parent channel of this channel and create it under here. So that's all cool, pretty much. The next thing that we want to do is store the ticket details. So what I'm going to do is create a new folder just for the ticket system. So let's say ticket system, and then we'll create a new class here, and this is just going to contain details about our ticket. So let's name this support ticket. So this is going to contain everything that we need to know about our ticket. So let me make sure I rename it. First of all, let's store the username. So who is storing, or who is creating this ticket, right? So let's say public string and then the username. Cool. And then we'll whoops, not that, get set. What's this ticket actually containing? So we'll say public string and then issue. So we'll make sure to get set it. Autocorrect, come on please. And then we'll have two int variables for the ticket number. So what we'll do is store the ticket number and also the ticket ID. And what we're going to do is generate a ticket ID. So like this is pretty cool. It will pretty much identify each ticket by its ID, so that when we get round to coding the management system, it will make life a lot easier when we store the ticket ID. And we'll be randomly generating this ID, and I'll show you how to do it. It's pretty cool, and it's a really good system that I thought of. So let's say public int, and then first of all let's store the ticket number. So ticket number. So get set that. Since Discord channels use ulong, I thought, why not let's just store the ticket ID as a ulong, because it's a very unique number. There's no chance it's going to be duplicated, and it's very easy to manage. So let's just store the ticket ID as a ulong. So let's say ulong and then ticket ID, and we'll be generating this ticket ID, and like you'll see how it works. So that's cool. We have our support ticket here. The next thing we're going to do is store this ticket as a support ticket. So var support ticket is equal to a new support ticket. Cool. And let's open and close curly brackets so that we can store our different things in there. So first of all, let's store the username. So that's easy enough. That's just e.user.username. What's it? Like e.interaction user and then username. There we go. And then the like the issue is basically the first value in the text box. So since there's only one value that we've got here, we're just going to get the first thing in e-values and store that. So we'll say modal values, and then first. So that's just going to get the first entry in e.values, and it's just going to store it. So we don't know how many tickets we have right now. So how do we know what the ticket number is going to be? So let's store ticket number as 0 for now. This is just temporary, because because once we've implemented the storing, I'm going to be changing this immediately. But the ticket ID is going to be something different. So let's go up here and let's generate the ticket ID. So what I'm going to do is generate a ulong value. So how do you generate a ulong value at random? Because you can't just type in random numbers. You have to be able to generate it, right? So the clue is in the name. We are going to be using the random class. So we'll say var random, and let's make a new instance of the random class. So we'll say new random. So we'll be using some built-in methods in this random class to generate a ulong value, and then we'll be able to store it in here. So first of all, let's declare what our minimum value and our maximum value are going to be. So our ulong min value is going to be, like, it's a pretty big number, but it's going to be this. So how many zeros is that? That's one. So that's 18 zeros there. So we'll do the same thing for the max value. So ulong max value is just going to be 9s with the exact same format. There we go. So cool. We've got our min value and our max value. So we are going to be generating a random value in between these two numbers. So that way it is nice and secure. And when we're checking for the ticket ID, it's pretty easy to manage. First of all, we are going to do random next, and since this is only be able to do for int numbers, what we'll do is just cast this as a ulong first. So ulong, and then random.next. So it just makes life a bit easier. So we'll be random next, and then casting it as a ulong, and then what we're going to do is cast the min value as a int, because bear in mind, once again, we can only random.next int values. So what we're going to do is cast the min value, and then we're also going to check if it's greater than 32. Cool. And then the max value, we'll pretty much do the same as well. So int dot max value, and then that's also less than 32. Whoops. And then what we're going to do here is say random.next again. So we'll also pass this as a ulong, or also cast it. So cool. This is what we need to do. And then what we need to do after this is say ulong result. So like this will be our actual ulong value, is say random number, and then we're gonna check for the modulus of the max value, take away the min value, and then add 1. And then we're also going to add the min value at the end. Cool. And this will give us our randomly generated ID. So we'll say results. So that should be done pretty much. So now the only thing we need to do is sort out this like this ticket number. So right now we don't know how many tickets we have, because after all, when we're storing this into the file, like this, like this ticket might be the 100th ticket, or the 1000th ticket. So we need to be able to know how many tickets we actually have in the external file. So this is where we're going to be able to create the actual ticket engine that's going to store this ticket for us. So let's name this TicketEngine. Cool. So we'll make sure to make this public, and we are ready to go. So we're going to have two methods in here. One method for storing the ticket, and one method for deleting the ticket. So we'll say public, and then this needs to be a bool, I guess, because we need to be able to check if it's successfully stored or not. So we'll say StoreTicket, and then what we're going to do is pass in the actual ticket. So support tickets, and then tickets. And then the other method is to delete the ticket. So public, once again, bool, and then a delete ticket. We are not going to be passing in the ticket, but we're going to check for the ID of the ticket. So we're going to say ulong, and then ticket ID. So because we're checking for the ticket ID, and because of how unique the ticket ID is, it's going to be very easy to identify the ticket and delete it from the file. So it's very easy. We've set up this, now we need to actually set up the JSON file. So what I'm going to do is make a JSON file. So there's multiple ways in which you can store tickets. There's databases, there's JSON files, there's loads of ways. So it's up to you, but I'll be using JSON because we've been using it a lot. So let's name this tickets.json. So make sure I've got dot, yeah. Okay, and let's set it up. So we have an array of tickets, right? So let's say tickets, and then this is equal to an array. Cool. So that's our JSON file set up. So we don't need that like that anymore. So like what we'll do is also we will store this in the bin folder, just in case we need to use a stream reader. So we'll copy and paste it into the bin debug folder, just in case we need to use a stream reader or a stream writer, which we probably will have to. So this is using everything we've learned so far. I believe the last time we stored to a JSON file is with the profile system. So it's pretty much the exact same way. So let's say string path is equal to this. So make sure you have an @ to provide that that's a path string. So we say tickets.json. Let's read it, pass it, and then add the ticket to the JSON file. So like we've learned back in the profile system video. So we say var var JSON is equal to, first of all, read the file. So we'll say file dot read all text. Yep, there we go. Looks like I need to import system.io. Yep, I do. There we go. And then we'll pass it. So we'll say var JSON object is equal to JObject, and then pass, and then JSON. So remember what we did with the profile system. What we did was turn this JSON file into a list, and that way we were able to add people to the list by using our class. So what we do is say, in this case, this is going to be a list of tickets. So we'll say var tickets is equal to JSON object, and then this time we get the array of tickets. So very simple, right? And then we turn it to a list. So we say two objects, there we go, and then a list. And this is going to be a list of support tickets, because that's what we're storing in here, right? So we say support ticket, and then end it off with a bracket and a semicolon. So we've turned it into a list. So if we check, then there we go. It's a list of support tickets. All we do now is just add this ticket that we're passing in. So we say tickets.add and then ticket. Cool. So we've added the ticket to the list. All we've got to do is compile it all back together and write it back to the JSON file. So we do JSON object with the tickets is equal to the J array from object tickets, and then we write it file.write all text, and then to the path, and then we say JSON object to string. So that's that. We have like we wrote our ticket details that we're passing over here, and we are writing it to the JSON file. So all we do now is this is true, and just to thin the chance that this method fails, we'll put this in a try catch block so that we know that there's an error going on. So we say try, and then we paste in this whole code in there. So control.x and then control.v, and then catch an exception, and then we write this to the console. So let's say console.writeLine, and then ex to string, and then we return false. So this way, like, the method knows if it's successfully stored the ticket or if it's failed. And why is it inconsistent accessibility? Wait, what's wrong with this? Oh, it's okay, yeah, like this needs to be public, doesn't it? Okay, so first of all, let's check if this works, and then we'll get on to managing the tickets. So let's finish off this code, because it's still not done yet. So what we're going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is make a new instance of the TicketEngine here. So we'll say var TicketEngine is equal to a new TicketEngine. Okay, and then we take this support ticket and store it. So let's say TicketEngine and then store ticket, and then we pass in the support ticket. Cool. And then once we've stored this support ticket, we then want to send a message in this issue channel, you know, saying what that issue is. So what I can do is just create like a nice embed message saying, you know, this user has opened an issue, so blah blah blah. So what I can do is say var issue embed equals a new Discord embed builder. Let's say this user has opened an issue, and we'll say what the issue is in the description, right? So in a nice concatenated string, we'll say e.interaction.user.username has opened an issue. We'll just say, you know, some details. So pretty much the issue is just going to be, once again, modal values dot first, isn't it? So yeah, in a nice concatenated string, once again, we'll say the issue is the following. So we'll say modal values, and then first. And then screw it, let's just put the like the ticket ID underneath as well. So we'll say \n twice, and then we'll just add the ticket ID. So we'll say tickets ID is equal to the support ticket and then the ticket ID. So we'll get it directly from the class. So we'll say support ticket and then ticket ID. Like I can use like the result variable, but let's just, you know, keep it to good standard. And then we'll send it in the new channel, so issue channel here. So we'll say await issue channel, send message async with the embed as the issue embed. Okay, so far what have we done here? So what we've done is, when the modal is being submitted, we are creating a new channel with the, you know, username's issue or whatever, and then what we're doing is creating a ticket so that we can store it in the JSON file. And we've got a username, our issue, the ticket number, which we will sort out, and then the ticket ID, which is being randomly generated, like so. So the ticket ID is very important for when we are going to manage our tickets, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next video, because I feel like this video is way too long for a ticket system. So I'm going to be splitting this into 2 videos. So we'll be doing this where we create the ticket, store it, and then the next video is all about managing the tickets. So let's test this out and see what happens. So everything's all good. So once the ticket has been created and stored, let's go to send a message in the channel saying what the issue is. So let's press start. There were build errors. Where's the build errors? Oh yeah, it's because of my TicketEngine, isn't it? What I'll do is just get rid of this for now. Yeah, it's okay, it's happy now. Okay. So D# Plus version 4.4.2, it's all good. Okay. So I press submit ticket, I type in my issue, and then it should create a channel for me over here. So let's test out all that we've done so far. So let's just say, I don't know, I have an issue with my Discord, I don't know. Let's just say, I don't know, it is very laggy. So there's our issue. So let's press submit, and then it should create a channel for us with our issue. And okay, yeah, like it, yeah. So like it said something went wrong. Looks like I need to provide a response before I do this. So it did work. So yeah, there we go. It said my issue, and as you can see, the ticket ID has been randomly generated. So that's pretty cool. And then let's check the JSON file as well. So let's check that. So if we go to our bin debug folder and then open the tickets.json file, so let's drag that over, and there we go. Like this is what it should look like. So we have our ticket here. Look, that's pretty cool. So let me address that issue where it does give the error. So I think somewhere along here I need to provide a sort of interaction response builder. So maybe over here after it's stored the ticket, like let's submit a second issue. So let's see what that looks like. So let's press start. So like, let me get rid of this channel, and then let me submit another issue. So let's submit the same issue, and this time it should, there we go, it's submitted properly. It's got rid of the, you know, dialogue, the modal, and it pretty much looks seamless. So that's the end product. So there we go. I have an issue with my Discord, it's very laggy. Let's program a method that reads the JSON file and returns how many tickets there are, so that this this method knows how many tickets there are. So what we'll end up doing is we execute the method and then add one to it, right? Because we are creating a new ticket. So if we get the current tickets we have and then add one to it, then that means it's going to add the next ticket. So it makes sense, right? So say if there's 2 tickets that the method got, so in this case there are 2 tickets, it's going to read 2 tickets and then add 1. So ticket number will now be 3 for the new ticket. So hopefully that makes sense. A public, and this is going to return a number. So it's just an int, and we'll say get total tickets. Whoops, there we go. So there's no parameters needed for this one. So let's declare a simple count. So we'll say int count equals 0. Cool. And then this is where we're gonna have to use a stream reader. So we'll say using stream reader sr equals a new stream reader, and then tickets.json. So this is very important because we need the tickets.json file to be in the bin.debug folder, which it is in. Since we're using a stream reader, we are going to be deserializing the JSON file. So what we need to do is like have a sealed class under here that lays out the code formatting of our JSON file, just like we did for the profile system. Let's say internal sealed class, and then this is going to be called, I don't know, ticket JSON. And then in here, all we have is just one property, and that's an array of tickets. So all we do is say public, and then it's an array of support tickets, right? So support ticket array, and then tickets, and then we get set them. So whoops, let's do this, and then this needs to be back here. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to deserialize the JSON file. So we'll do string JSON equals read to end, so stream reader read to end, and then let's say ticket JSON. So this is going to be our tickets, isn't it? So let's say the ticket object, and this is going to be JSON convert and then deserialize in this format. So we'll be using this ticket JSON class, and then we'll deserialize the JSON file that we've just read. So now we're ready to for each through all the tickets it has. So all we got to do is just for each through how many tickets it has, and just add 1 to this count. That's literally so easy. So all we got to do is just do for each, and then var tickets in ticket object dot tickets, increment the count by 1. So count plus plus. And then once the for each is done, we return the count. I think that's it. So yeah, that's it. And then what we're going to do in the program is execute this method. So what we're going to do in the ticket number directly is say TicketEngine, and then get total tickets, and then what we're going to do is add 1 to it. So that way we are always creating a new ticket. So so far this is going to get 2. This this method is going to return 2, and then what we're going to do is add 1 to it. So the new ticket number is going to be 3. So let's give that a test. So let's get rid of all these tickets. So this is the final test. So let's start the bot, and then we'll submit those tickets again. So let's submit the first one. So issue 1. Okay, cool. And then let's say issue 2. Yeah, so bear in mind, it does create duplicate channels, so like you might want to name yours a bit different to mine. So that's cool. Yeah, so like they're all separate IDs, aren't they? So if we check the JSON file now, there we go. Yeah, we've got your ticket number 1, ticket number 2, and it's just going to go on forever. So that's the end of part 1. So first of all, we've managed to pretty much make a ticket system where the user can submit their issue. It pretty much opens up a channel for them containing the issue. So now the next step we have to do is program a sort of management system. So what if the ticket has been, you know, completed, and like they want to delete it from the JSON file? So we need to be able to, you know, program a sort of management system where the user has like a nice control panel maybe, or like a nice dashboard, and they can pretty much, you know, sort through all the tickets that are in the system, and they can view the ticket or pretty much edit the ticket, do pretty much things like that. So that's a cool system that we can implement in the next video. So this video is too long, it's like nearly like an hour long, but we'll be doing it in part 2. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, then obviously let me know in the comments below. If you have any sort of issues that you want me to resolve, then join the Discord server, because that's where all of us will be helping. And apart from that, make sure you guys like and sub to the channel, and I'll see you lot in part 2 of the support ticket system video. Peace out.